everyone, welcome again to another episode. We got ourselves with two guest stars this time. I upgraded from 1 to 2. So we got as our previous guest, Saxa from my top, or depending on how the camera angle is, I don't know how Skype works. And the co-founder of this podcast, Kevin, on my side.
Hello.
So yeah, we kind of had a few news coming around lately now. So we all now have the good news of having the online systems up and running again. So everyone who's been having the bad cravings like I had, where you finished models but not had more to cover for lockdown, good news. You can get back to your little filthy habit. So I did notice this one where not everything is actually on order yet. So I think I mentioned it before that there was no... Some things are not online. So, for instance, Califraki Terminators are not available. Mark IV are not available. So, guys, I'm not sure if we think that's something like a mail order system or if that's them working from what they have in stock.
It depends where everything gets cast up, produced. Is it all produced in Nottingham?
I would assume, yeah, because I assume they'd all be in Nottingham and they'll all be doing mass shipping, but...
It depends how many staff you're allowed in certain sections, because at the end of the day, for Games Workshop certainly, the Heresy sort of stuff is on the back burner for them because it's not a major game. So odds are they're probably pushing everything that is 40k.
I'm not even going to pretend to know what's going on with shipping and stock. So meh.
Yeah, because I was under the pretense anyway that they was just working with what they do with what current stock they have indoors and see if makes that easier to make more room in the future. Forge World, we're still waiting on that to come around. In fact, it's weird because it doesn't even give you the chance to just do the usual skimming through the shop catalogs. It literally only has we're working on it. Here's a link back to the workshop site, which is a shame because I at the very least, the lockdown, I had to use like the Forge World side and just do the whole longingly stare at it with a hand over it, just so I could look at the Dark Angel stuff that I could have been ordering. So but frankly, I got a shopping list for that.
That's what it shows. Or if you go on Forge World, but it didn't do that for me the other day.
It's been doing it for
looking at stuff.
I mean, it's the fact that you've been waiting for Dark Angel stuff for so long, and it's like country lockdown, not allowed to have it.
It's like my only miracle was that I was able to get those Knights Cenobian before the lockdown thing kicked in.
And then you finished them way before it even started.
I was greedy, and there was a part of me that when you hear everyone was so busy panic buying all this other stuff, I never actually thought to consider maybe I should be panic buying models to keep me occupied for going. So, and I mean, in the silver lining of it all, it's given me a good opportunity on things. So, for instance, the jet bikes have now been repainted, so they're coming along looking better than they did originally.
And touching them up again, yeah.
Touch them up, finally give them bases that I kept being so lazy and not bothering to do. I think it was because I played them the first couple of times, and then, in the gameplay, and you kind of start seeing like the flaws in your in the jet bikes as overall.
I never saw them with flaws because even when we went into that doubles tournament for Throne of Skulls, literally every game it was minimum AP3, and then most of the time it was AP1 or 2, and I was like, yeah, we're killing giant robots by the.
Well, it wasn't even like firepower was the problem. It was for me, it was durability. Because you had to, because worst case, somebody's got to have the ignore cover weapon, that's AP2, and they'll use it to take him out. Meaning I had to keep running away. Or they kept shooting him in a way where I had to force the chinks, and then snap firing just takes so long. It was one of those things where all they have to do is keep, stop piling a AP2 shot on me and force me to reduce my accuracy. That was where I saw the problem. And as I mentioned a while back, where I had one game against a 1,000-sun player, and because I had the bikes on the shortest edge of the table, it left them being trapped in a spot where they couldn't get away from the Terminators. I was in that really perfect point of that I couldn't get around them fast enough, nor could I turbo over them fast enough, because either way it would still keep me within close to charge range for them.
Certainly, if they have levitation, because it's like, I'm going to chase you all around the board and you can't get away from me.
Well, that's the thing. They weren't even in the position that they needed to. I was in that perfect trap, because if he moved forward, then yes, I could have flew away. But he could have just sat there, and I sit there with all my other stuff with your friend going, help, help. We're trying.
I think I've only ever had a problem with your jet bikes once. I think it was the last game we played at Element. Where you spread everything, spread everything out perfectly, so my stuff couldn't deep strike into any gaps. Anything. Yeah, but the game before that Element was the one where I took the 2 Arcuses and just took all your jet bikes off the table turn 1.
Yeah, because that's always the issue. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where
AP2, it's all good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it did come quickly to a point where there was a lot of these somewhat issues where jet bikes come in where they're not as durable as everyone makes it out. And it's where the 2+ armor save tricks people into thinking they're better than they are.
Sometimes 5-2 up's still pretty good.
I think maybe more than one squad, maybe it might be an option rather than just the one, because everything can focus via the one squad until they're dead, and then...
It was a Ford, but it's also the fact that then the jetbikes cost about 235 points, give or take.
For how many?
For 5. So it was a little bit like I was part of sitting there as well, going bit costly.
I mean, Contemptors tend to survive a bit more, but you only get 6 shots if you've taken 2 heavy bolters.
True. I haven't used them for a while, but they were at least I've always found them pretty good back then because.
Stephen knows I'm not a fan of the 2 heavy bolters on Dreadnought.
Oh, good.
Those 2 heavy bolters.
As I say, it's strange enough. It's the only time I actually like my heavy bolters on them because it's more of a. It's not as fast as the jet bikes, but it's durable. It's not gonna have a lot of AP2 shots that force it to chinks.
See, it comes into that argument though, doesn't it? Where it's like with AP, it's like. Because we've had this discussion several times where it's like, do we roll once for every weapon or do we roll it all separately? When we've been to events, I think they've said just roll it once and then...
Yeah,
because there was multiple times we heard about whether you roll for every model or you roll for one unit. I'm hoping, I'm being very certain Road to Farmers will update on that.
Hopefully.
You think they would have FAQ'd it by now, to be honest. It's been out for how long?
With Blood Angel assault cannons, you have to roll individually because they jam.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an overheat. You still have to do it individually because specific models die. You can't just go, there's 10 overheats. I'll just take them all on one model. You don't do it. It's on an individual model basis. But acid bolters, I'm in the camp of roll once for the unit.
Similar to what they've done with the plasma burners, really, because even though you have the plasma burner and then a plasma incinerator, they're now telling you roll 1 dice for the whole unit amount of shots.
This for the Interemptors.
Yeah, I call them Dreadwing Murderers because it's a little bit of a cooler name.
What's the rate of fire on their guns? D3+1?
The standard ones, D3+1, but the heavy incinerators D3+4.
Right.
So the heavy one will have a shorter range.
I'd roll for the squad.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Roll for heavy individually. So it's a different weapon.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's the fact you only have certainly when you go to events, they give you a time limit of how long games are. The last thing you want to do is waste time rolling separate dice for each unit and just going, oh, look, this guy has to roll for AP3, this guy has to roll for AP4. It takes even longer doing that than certainly when you've only got, say, an hour and a half restriction.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've got 90 minutes for a game and say you've got 20 heavy bolters across your army. You take this the next 25, you're probably looking at about 25 minutes off your time per game. Just faffing about with heavy bolter dice.
I know, why faff with that when you could be faffing putting each individual model and thinking where to put them?
Oh, no, that's not the worst thing. You know what the worst thing I've had.
No, I know, that was a light joke on that one,
It's either that or you do colour codes and you put blue, different colours, blobs on dice on bases. and you have different dice for each one. So if you go to your, say, your Dreadnought squad, and you do one dice is red, one dice is blue. The blues are AP2, the reds are AP5 or whatever, and then you just mass roll. You save time that way. I mean, I've tried it with my Blood Angel Assault Cannon squad, the heavy support ones, and I just put a red dice and a black dice next to each one, and then I'll grab one dice and then add 3 of each, and then it's so it cuts it down a bit, but generally it's individual is a pain in the arse. But especially it's with the.
I think that's why I never took my assault. I never took Assault Marines heavy support squad when I did Blood Angels, because I just felt it's going to take way too long just to do it.
No, it doesn't take too long. Once you get the hang of it, it's fine. It's just easy to now to just from left to right, from the front row to the back row, and then across. It doesn't take all long, but I've done it that much now. It's just
like force of habit now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you never see Imperial Fist players do what Blood Angels do with assault cannons.
They can't.
Well, because they can have assault cannons as well. It's just
nope, Terminator squads only, and they can take.
Oh, they actually updated that. Oh.
No, that's what the Imperial is for Imperial Fist. Whereas for Blood Angels, it's can you take a heavy flamer? Yeah, then you can take an assault cannon.
Oh, because probably we'll want to see what Imperial Fist try and do with that.
The only thing they changed in Book 8 with assault cannons is it costs vehicles 15 points now instead of 5.
No, okay, that makes sense.
Which is fair. I mean, my Predator Squadron got a hell of a lot more expensive because it's 15 for the Pintle mount and then 15 for the sponsons, but you get the Twin Link for free. So it's still like an extra 30 points.
Oh, it's fair enough, at least. I've got a lot I still got to wait for, so I don't think I'll get anything crazy like the likes of here have the Shinobi Knights as troops or having Dreadwing guys as troops or anything stupid like that. I imagine
Lion will probably make Cenobium troops.
Maybe, or I'm imagining crazier things going on right now, like a Dreadwing character that's going to let you have a unit who can roll 2 dice and pick the highest for amount of shots or something silly like that. Something like that.
That's never going to happen. Never.
I don't think it'll be as crazy like having them as troops or anything like that, but I imagine they will give at least the make the Dreadwing guys a little bit scarier if you take this guy on the Dreadwing.
You know, maybe they'll FAQ him to be able to Overwatch in Cataphractic armor.
What, you mean like they haven't already?
I just don't get why Cataphractic can't Overwatch anyway.
No,
raising a bolt is too much for them. Just like
Yeah, it's weird. But Indomitus and Tartaros can Overwatch. That's fair. But they get worse.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get it's for the invulnerable save, but a 4+ invulnerable save isn't really all that.
Unless you're Thousand Suns, you get a 3-up invuln if you take the right cult.
Yeah,
but
Imperial Fist Terminators, they get a 3-up invuln save from the shield as well.
So they do become incredibly costly, even for like any normal Terminator. They start hitting like, because they're 15 points on Tartarus Terminators, but they're only 10 on Cataphracti.
That's because it's.
Oh yeah, I know the benefits. But yeah, it's just like you can see what it's like for Tartarus Terminator, a shield and possibly like a chain fist or something. He comes up like 55 points or something like that. And this is for a normal Terminator with 1 wound, who now is the equal points to the likes of a Salamander Fire Drake or one of the other Legion elites.
What does Stone Gauntlet do? Is that purely for breaches?
It's anyone with a shield, but your breaches are compulsory troops. Basically, if all you guys have the shield, have a shield, they stay in base within. 2. Oh no, it's like 2 inches, something like that. They all get like +1 toughness, but you do lose it if you like make charges or run, or even sweeping advance actually. but you also get Hammer of Wrath when you charge.
That's not bad.
Does
it work with Storm Shields, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you make them toughness 5 Terminators.
Well, there you go. That's why it's so costly, because they were obviously thinking of Stone Gauntlet, because that's actually pretty good. Toughness 5, 3 up save, 2+, and then you stick an Apothecary in there, and you're probably going to have problems trying to shift that unit without ridiculous weapons. Because you can't really rely on plasma guns unless you're playing Word Bearers and you're taking relics.
Well, if you can find a game that actually allows you to take the relics.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I missed, really.
Fine.
That's the only thing I missed, because I did used to play Fists, and when we came to those goals, I would have the Praetor with that mantle to give him the Eternal Warrior Praetor with the Storm Shield.
I thought only Salamanders could make a Praetor in Internal Warrior.
Yeah, so you can Salamanders can make Praetors and have Eternal Warrior. I'm not sure whether they had the benefits of the shield though.
Yeah, because you can buy the Drake scale shield or whatever, can't you?
Yeah, you have to buy it separately.
Yeah,
there's an Imperial Fist shield, isn't there?
Yeah, you can actually buy a kit style for Storm Shield. Though, strangely enough, they scoped it for the Cataphractii, not for the Tartarus, so that takes a little bit of work.
If Forge World still do them, they do Black Templar Storm Shields.
Because I know which ones you're thinking of. I don't know if they still do or not. Anyway, speaking of all the Primarchs and that, we if everyone has noticed, we also seen that those battle reports Games Workshop posted up with the Primarch death battles, which I think a lot of people have obviously got questions on it. Most people are saying one Primarch or the other should have won. So because that's not known, I'll try and do my best description on it. So they did the Loyalist first one, and they tried to do it where one Primarch versus one Primarch, and they built to a final between the two Loyalist Primarch fight off. Then they did the Traitors, which was just like an all-round slobber knocker fight.
Yeah.
And then they had the final Loyalist versus Traitor Primarch in the end. And I'll say I think we can all agree. It was just it was a selling advertisement means. Say, here's all the more reason, buy Lionel Johnson because this. And there's some bits of the argument where there's only like few parts of it where I think we all disagreed on it. So I think for example, the best example would be something like Lehman Russ, who in these Primarch fights spent most of the time only using that Axe Helheim or something like that.
Yeah, didn't use his Balefire sword, did he?
Yeah, because the Balefire sword in the Primarch fight is the more lethal one, because it's why use the Strength 8 axe when you could use the Strength 6 axe, which causes extra D3 wounds. So that was always a confusing one. But otherwise, bits in combat bits in combat that made sense. Just weapon use was not made sense. And then especially like when you watch the final fight, and Horus for some reason, in the situation when he's fighting Lion, could just kept using the mace. Ends up in for some weird fluffy reason, not throwing the mace away and just sticks with the claws.
See, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's like everyone has the personal preference of how to use Primarch. I mean, you remember when I used to use Lorgar, it was always re-rollable armor saves and stuff like that. And I know people are like, oh, don't be a douche, don't use those powers and stuff like that. But then when you have a competition like that, it's like you'd want your Primarch to be the best and use the best weapons. Not, oh, we're doing it to fit the fact that we want the Primarch that's recently new to be the best seller. I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it?
Well, it's a weird one because I think, in some notable fights, we had Ferrus Manus defeats Rogul Dawn, Corax defeats Gilliman, but then they make this joke about Gilliman just throwing the towel in and thinking it was impractical.
Yeah, because there's apparently 12 rounds of combat between Gilliman and... Was it Rogul Dawn?
It was Corax.
Corax. Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, Korax has the worst invuln, doesn't he, out of all the Primarchs?
I think out of the Loyalists, he has the.
He has a 5
Does
up
Angron
invuln,
have a
doesn't
5 up?
Yeah, Angron has like a 5 up as well. So it's like Angron. I think it's Angron and Korax. I think Fulgrim has a weak invuln as well, but
No, he's
his
got a 3
improves
up
when he's
invuln in combat.
Yeah, I mean, his improves in combat, but the other two don't.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's like, surely statistically, Guilliman would have slapped Korax out of the sky.
No, Korax would batter him. Because he just sits there and goes, yeah, got -1 to hit me. And Gilliman's like, shit, hit on 5s. Because his weapon skill compared to other Primarchs isn't as high.
Doesn't his weapon skill increase though every turn?
Pardon? I don't know.
I think Gilliman's weapon skill increases every turn though.
Yeah, so by turn 12, you'd be weapon skill whatever. And they'd be like...
If we hit weapon skill 10, well, it'd still be forced to hit it, the worst.
Yeah.
But then they had Leman Russ versus Sanguinus, and basically Leman Russ goes and cans Sanguinus. I think, again, there's one of those situations where they're making out that nobody gets their charge benefits. But I'm very certain Sanguinus is one of those types that definitely needs a charge bonus.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 rules that, require the charge with the strength 10 AP2 impact hits, which is 2 of, which is potentially 2 wounds caused to a Primarch. And he gets a reroll on his invulnerable save on the turn he charges as well. But then it's a case of, did they use a sword with Sanguinius?
I'm very certain he used a sword. The sword makes more sense in the Primarch field, because otherwise...
The blade and Carmine, not his...
not the spear,
Tesla. But if you use the spear, you roll 6s to wound. There's double wounds as well. So
I'm not sure. Yeah, because the sword. I know sword has like a rampage as well, doesn't it? So
I think it's +1 strength, shred, and rampage. But you're not getting rampage against another Primarch, so
yeah.
Then you've got the spear, which is +3 strength, AP1. This is on the charge. +3 strength, AP1 or 2. And I'm sure it does double wounds.
I don't think the spear does.
No, it does. I'm not sure if it's against demons or.
No, that's the pointy dagger.
Nope.
Yeah, the pointy
spear
dagger
does as well.
Either way, it's one of those like when Sanguinus and Russ are both in the same combat, and if the combat obviously lasts longer than the first turn, Russ is already going to start gaining the advantage.
Well, the thing is, it's very rare that a Primarch can stand up against Russ. I mean, I know Lorgar can do it because I tested that out, but when most of the Primarchs don't really stand up to Leman Russ.
It's that armor of his more than anything else.
I mean, Lorgar didn't stand up to him. He basically went block, 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 block.
For every successful wound roll of a 6 made with a spear of Telesto, that unit suffers an additional wound using the same weapon profile.
Oh, okay.
So if you roll 6s to wound, you're causing multiple wounds.
So it's doing a little bit more damage than I thought it would, but it was still either way where when they're going past turn 1, Sanguinus has stood there like trying to hit him on 5s.
Hit who on 5?
Russ is because
Russ 9.
Something like that, but don't forget. Oh no, it might be 6 then, because remember, first turn it -1 to hit, then after that it's all -2 to hit. So Sanguinus would then be stuck trying to hit him on 5 and 6s, or Russ just sits there and goes whack, whack, whack. As I say, it is where Russ's armor is really, really good in this. In after that, they did. I'm trying to look what else they did, because they did Lion versus. I'm trying to think who was the first person they had Lion fight off.
Well, obviously, it wasn't someone very hard then, was it?
Ooh, snazzy bit. That was it. So he fought Falcon actually. So first game he fought Falcon. And it goes back to the same thing again, where like Lion's cooler rule kicks in. You know, when he's like when he gets closer to losing all of his wounds, he hits more.
Well, some people, I think it was Phil, he was saying that Whenever he was fighting, he only lost 2 wounds before he got the extra attacks rather than losing 4 wounds.
Yeah, because it's one of those bits where the extra 2 attacks are not likely to come in anytime soon. Or if you're in that position, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
I think that's it's very. That is where another one of those. And I'm not just Dark Angel's very big on this one. They're very situational half the time. So yeah, for Lion's case, he would have to be in a pretty situational case where he needs extra attacks. But that was round 1.
I think it's weird that he managed to beat Vulcan so easily. Because I generally always have a problem trying to get round 3+ invulnerable saves.
Yeah, because Lion does have that 2 up 4 up, but with the 1 reroll turn. So he has the
flat 3+.
Yeah. So my imagination is the fact that Lion probably has a higher weapon skill than Vulcan, by giving him the slight advantage there. But
it doesn't matter because
I think that
got a
point,
Thunderhammer.
Well, he's still fighting a normal initiative, but I think Lion's faster.
Isn't
but
Vulcan
after
only
the first round.
Yeah, with the first round, then he does that.
Gets smacked by a giant hammer.
It might just be coming back to the fact where the guys are making out that there were suddenly bad rolls coming in. I mean, I had a laugh with this because I saw a video recently where, because guys saw the Primarch Death Battles, they ran their own version. So, for an example, they did Perturabo versus Horus, and Perturabo won 2 out of 3.
I mean,
more because crappy rolling and Perturabo's hammer just kept knocking him down.
Yeah, a lot of people rely too much on Math Hammer says this, but until you pick dice up and start rolling dice, it's irrelevant.
I do enjoy it.
Lion will probably beat almost all of the Primarchs. But if you start doing that fight and then you go, roll 6 ones and he's dead in 1 turn, it happens. You're playing a game of chance at the end of the day.
Of course. Well, they did round 2 end afterwards, so it ended up where like Korax was fighting Lehman Russ, and again that kind of just I think that one might have taken longer, but in the end Russ wins that one again. Once more, that Hellfrost armor of his just really comes into play. Then they did like Lion versus Ferrus Manus. Ferrus Manus cans it, which is another tough one again, because I would assume that Ferrus would be as tough as Vulcan was. He's
still got a 3 up invulnerable save. He's still toughness 6. He's still got 6 wounds.
Yeah,
and
he has
skill.
And he still has the hammer attacks and the hammer attacks with blind and the servo arm just to add it up.
Yeah.
But then basically, you know what happens. Ross beats Korax, Lion beats Ferrus, turns to the classic Ferrus versus Lion. And this is where it gets weird, because then in the last bit of combat, they decide Lehman Russ is going to use the axe instead of the sword. That's the point when you're like going, okay, well, I don't think anyone would use the axe anymore at this point. They would have actually had the axe put away with the sword out instead.
Yeah, you just stay with a better option throughout, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have people who watch that video now and just been like, oh, right, Lion can beat Russ.
It's an article, not a video.
No, it's an actual article, yeah.
Right.
So you don't even see none of the dice rolls or nothing, it's just...
Yeah, this is where it comes to that classic Games Workshop battle reporting theme you get, where you almost start in the hard time and thinking, did this really happen, or did you just try and spice it up for story writing?
I think people have they're probably hoping that people are going to watch that. Well, look at that now and go, "Oh, Lion could beat Russ hands down." So you know what? I want to get the Lion and see if he actually does it. And then when they actually buy it, and then when they buy it and then get kicked in the ass by Russ, they'll be like, "Oh, they lied to me."
What was I say? It's not like we're saying that Lion couldn't beat Russ, but you know that there were some points where the chances are there would be a lot more 50-50 to it than
no, I think it's still more in Johnson's favour.
Yeah,
because Russ is hitting him they're hitting each other on 4s, regardless of what turn it is. But what's Russ's sword do?
Lion's sword's got Fleshbane.
No, Russ.
Oh, Russ. It's I think it's like it's strength 7 AP 2 or something. But then, like, if you cause a wound and then do D3 more wounds, which has to take the save for.
Yeah.
So it is one of those. It like causes multiple more wounds. It's a terrifying version of the Blade of Perdition. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's a terrifying version of that. So it is one of those cases where you're looking and going, I would have been stuck using that rather than.
But that's again dice based, isn't it? So you can get D3 wounds. You can just roll a 1, or a 2.
That's the thing, yeah, because I think Russ gets the benefits of doing more damage. Lion gets the benefit that he's always going to have this fixed hit and wound profile stats rather than varying strength and profile states problems.
I'm actually wondering, did they design Lion with that rule because of Lehman Russ? Because fluff-wise, they have a couple of scraps, don't they?
They have like 2 scraps I can recall. One where they started the rivalry, and there was another one on Terror itself.
Yeah.
But I think like both times though, I were like, well, the first one was a wrestle and I'll be honest, it was a cheap shot from Lion afterwards. With the other one where Lion, and the other one was Lion nearly outright kills Russ. Kind of stops.
So basically, what you're saying, Steve, is your Primarch did a douchey thing.
Lion's not a people's person. I will admit that, but when you're practically George of the Jungle, it happens.
George that no one wants to be friends with.
George of the Jungle's quite popular.
Yeah, how could you? Brendan Fraser's best work.
I think in the end of it though, we can all agree. Don't like the thing is you take that article, if you take it like completely to the heart, you're like, don't math hammer it just because you think it's going to work. It's a case of dice. It's a dice game. It's luck at the end of the day.
Well, it's kind of why I imagine when they did Traitors, they did this as like this all-for-one brawl. Because I think they imagined it'd been pretty boring if Horus kept doing this one-on-one with people and Horus just kept smacking them.
Did Horus even use his orbital bombardment?
No. Which, they have this multiple combat at one point and Horus is sitting there watching. He's doing a lot.
You still couldn't shoot into the combat. But if you aim at somebody near the combat and maybe got a good scatter, but
I feel that was that would have been an Avengers Endgame moment.
I watched the How It Should Have Ended dubs of Endgame, and there's a point that made me chuckle when Thanos does the bombing, and he just goes, "Rage quit!" bum, 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 bum.
That's Exterminatus right there. That is the style of Exterminatus reign. Rage quit.
But so they did that where you watch all the other Primarchs, notably Angron and Vulgrim, do the higher kill count before Horus basically comes in to the weakened one and go, pop.
Yeah.
Takes them out just like that. Then then you got the final where they did Lion versus Horus, and this is where again they done with Lehman Russ, where he goes for some reason he goes, I have the mace, which is much more useful in this particular fight because honestly enough, the claws are not going to do much good anymore. You'll get to reroll wounds, but it won't slow the Lion down.
You drop the weapon skill or something, don't you?
Yeah, but when it comes to the Lion,
the mace, and then it's I'll go back to the claw.
Yeah, because you got that mace because you got the claw, which is like, okay, dropping the weapon skill and strength, but he still hits on 4s and still wounds on 2. So no point having the mace anymore. The claws anymore, sorry. So at that point you just keep with the mace and drop his initiative down to 1. But but then for some reason he throws the mace away. This is why you should not allow 2 weapons. You choose a favorite.
I mean, at least the loyalist Primarchs get most of their items for free when they want to upgrade. I mean, you've got Lorgar who has to pay 45 points for his upgrade. You have Magnus who has to pay for 175 for his upgrade.
There's a reason why Magnus has to pay that much for his upgrade, though.
He's OP.
There's a reason why he can't be a D weapon anymore.
Those days were awful.
I remember when people were like, "Oh, I'm going to buy Magnus. He makes his power is D weapons," and then I looked at that when it became strength. It just maxed out at strength 10. And I was like, still good.
Yeah, strength 10's still really good.
Steve found that out, didn't you, Steve? How
Well,
good a strength 10 Nova power is.
Yeah, and this is where I made that mistake. I didn't have enough Terminators to bash your Terminators. I fixed that problem.
Yeah, but
With Land Raiders too.
I've not used Magnus in so long.
Oh, true. Speaking of those armies, though, we've been having to discuss about this. I think we were actually considering doing a podcast army. We've been considering that idea.
Yeah, for a while.
Because I think the one we were going with, it was the idea we'll make an Imperial Fist army. I think the only reason it slowed down was because you guys wanted to do like the Games Workshop means where Avalon Sunset, Drive, I think it was Glazes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, I want to use the airbrush. I have these fancy yellows.
If you can airbrush the yellow, then by all means, do it.
I would, as a thing. I'll be sitting there going, it's cool enough for me.
I'll do a colour each. You do the yellows, I'll do the blacks.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Yeah, and especially because I've been very proud of that yellow now. So that one was actually, I've stolen this idea. It was an idea I found online from Meta's Miniatures. He's actually very cool on Instagram. But it was a little bit more twist because I didn't have all those colours on me. So for instance,
I do.
It was a pretty much that case, yeah. So I was using like the scale 75 Dubai brown. I had some Vallejo ivory, then like a couple of just flat yellow. I was just screwing that over, with then like burnt umber as the final touch to the work.
Is that the oil wash?
Yeah, just like burnt umber oil wash over the armor, which has been gloss varnished. Yeah. It's been useful, especially with the lockdown anyway, because it's been stopping me like just plowing through all the models now. So I can just be like, put the oil wash on. It forces me to leave it to dry over there throughout the night, and it stops me from like using up my lockdown time.
Well, like I said, if you're happy to paint the yellow, I don't mind.
Yeah,
doing things like the reds, golds.
That'd be cool. I haven't actually worked out what we were going to add to it though yet.
Fist.
Yeah. If it can't take a power fist, it doesn't go in the list.
No fist, you go home.
That was me when I painted my salamanders. I was like,
I think it should be a thematic army, like stuff with boarding with shields, artillery, loads of bolters.
Go crazy. Have like the 10-man Tartarus Terminator squad with chain fist and storm shields.
Yeah.
Because I did try that one because I was writing a list for a friend, and I think it turned out to like 575 points for a 10-man squad of Tartarus Terminators with a chain fist. I don't think
my Tartaros were expensive.
I don't think I added the teleport transponders either, so they didn't have the teleport on them yet. So it was just like, oh. If we do get a Dawn, though, I am not painting Dawn in the non-metallics. Tried it once, hated it.
I wouldn't mind doing Dawn, to be honest. Because I could just do the same gold that I've done on Sanguinius.
That's what I mean. Like, if we were painting Dawn, I'd think like standard metallics rather than non-metallics.
Yeah.
As I said, I tried once to try and do non-metallics, and it was just like I very quickly lost interest.
Thing is, though, if you stick Templar Brethren in there, they're going to be black and yellow.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Paint the shoulder pads differently, armor, whichever way it wants to be done. I always found scale 75 Abyss Blue is fantastic for black armor.
Yeah, well, I've got some of the 40k Death Guard. Because a lot of people are doing conversions for Dark Angels at the minute, aren't they? And I've done Ralderon using one. By scraping away all the chaos stuff, and
I keep saying I wanted to do that idea.
Yeah.
Just make them a bit thinner around the belly.
Yeah, because it's like torso's not a problem. It was always the mutation craps because like you can. I mean, some points where you're like you can clean up.
Yeah.
Like when they have like the weird hoof going on the foot, you can fill that gap in. But it's when you got like tentacles around the ankle or tentacles around the hip, and you're just like going,
Yeah.
fuck, this is so much here to take off. Well, no, I'm definitely up for that idea.
I've got a load. I've got power armor, Grey Knight Sonath that I nicked for I bought for the swords and stuff. So they come with shields that glue onto the shoulder pads, so that'll fit the knightly theme.
Yeah.
The helmets can potentially work as well because they look more knightly than sci-fi space marine. So again, that's something that fits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy done.
Oh yeah, I still got like spare leftover parts from Pollux when I was creating my chaplain, so I can always put that to use as well.
He has a shield as a Pollux. You'll have the Pollux shield, won't you?
I actually have the shield and the power fist with the built-in combi motor.
Yeah, you can't use that.
Oh, depending on how you
It's a
model
special
it.
weapon, isn't it? It's a power fist and a melter gun.
Oh, you could always have the sergeant carrying an Auspex in the other hand. He just slaps people with his free hand, or it's like, no, cast fist.
Just trying to think. So what have you got left from Pollux? I'm assuming
Shoulder pads,
pads,
still,
shield.
the arms, and the backpack.
There you go.
And the head too. But otherwise, the main body was taken.
Yeah. Is it just the body you've used for your chaplain?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't use the rest of it.
No, you'll be able to do something pretty easy.
Oh, yeah. That's always one cool idea I can always go with. It's in my daily case now, I just have to make it. I'm only thinking at most now, if we start on the project, it'll probably have to be just something straightforward, like make 2 10-man tac squads with fists, and then could probably still work on everything else after that.
Yeah. That seems
Or we
fair.
actually get 2 breacher squads and start that. And theoretically make the stone gauntlet.
I think the breacher upgrade kit would be better. Just take that on Mark IV Marines then.
Yeah. That's only the issue, really. Is,
Every fucking time.
maybe you need to get pen and paper and just stick it on the door.
You know what? I'm going to go on a murder spree. Give me a second.
It's blunt. You couldn't even put a side of beef with that.
It depends how hard you jab that bit.
I've done
Right.
more damage with a spoon.
Right in the ribs.
No, it's like, not my souffle.
I guess it would be all Mark III Marine based.
Yeah, because that's always the issue. Because the only other form of breacher shields I know available are either the breacher squads themselves, or those ultramarine upgrade kits. Then the ultramarine stuff obviously has too much crap on it.
Can you
That's
not
my
get
stuff.
the old breacher upgrade set where they came with Mark VI arms? You see literally the arms and the shields and a couple of guns.
I think they still have it, but I think they were in that annoying thing where the arms are built to the shield, so it'd take a little bit of small work to carve that off.
Just use those arms. You don't need to cut the shields off. Just use the arms.
Otherwise, the only other ones I know is there's a Space Wolf upgrade kit, which actually has like the shield and the axes.
No,
But obviously,
those
you'd
are
have
Space Wolf shields.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. So you'd have to drop the shields and replace.
Yeah.
This is why I remember messaging Forge World and saying, "Why can't you build an upgrade kit for breacher squads?"
Yeah, the arms are attached to the shields, but it's fine if it's going on. If there's going to be a shoulder pad over it.
Yeah, because
unless you can cut the arms off and just leave the hand attached. Whatever.
probably can be done. How it works is how to do it as well. But it would be a cool idea. Still like all the basis ideas and such, but I'm gonna write this all on paper one someday later. I'll probably do it later actually, and then put something up afterwards. I said, but I got like a huge list, man. So I'm hoping for like future videos. I'll start doing like tutorial videos because my custodes have been bluntly getting popular online. So I want to run tutorial videos of how I've done the gold theme onto those guys. I may do little bits on small tidbits on areas. I can't do a lot of tutorials because most of the tutorials were from other guys I found online, and I'd rather not be
Copying
looking
people.
like I'm stealing. Yeah, I don't want to look like I'm stealing theme ideas off other people and selling them off as my own. So I'll work with what I have done by myself, which is those Custodes Gold and the red on the shoulders.
Yeah.
So I'll try and see if I can make more on the channels.
Well, we can do that. That's fine. I'm not doing any painting recipes because it takes me ages to paint it. It'll be 6 or 7 months per one, and then halfway through it'll go wrong because I switched the colour out for a different colour. So I'm not going to do that. How did you paint Sanguinius? I used the scale 75 thing you get with a paint set of gold. There is no deviation to it at all.
Scale 75 gold set. And okay,
So
and
good.
scale 75 gold set.
It's the best set of paints I've ever bought.
I do love their gold range. They are very good. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to all the other metallics outside of gold, I've been looking into like those Vallejo metallic blow bottles. And nowadays it's just been like going mad with the sponges and just been using sponging effects every time.
Right, do you know the Dreadnought I've been painting or finishing off this week?
Oh yes.
Right. He has an open fist.
Ah.
Now I did that because I can get the corpse from Kind of Betrayer in there, another one that is falling backwards that he's hit.
Oh yeah.
Now do I cut it a bit, stick it in there as if he's just holding a dead body, or do I just leave it for terrain?
I want to say leave it for terrain.
I'd say try and fit it in the fist and see what happens. And
no, I can fit it in the fist. That was the plan. But I also want to do barricades made out of dead bodies.
I want to say base because sometimes I always find that when you got people model their guys holding the corpses, it feels a little bit off. Yeah, because I feel like if it was like I would have said on the base, as I say, for me personally, putting something in the hand always makes it look like it's a little bit off. Maybe because obviously not all the virtual models are size accurate to say.
I mean, when you did my Castellet robot for me, when you stuck that Marine in the fist, like, it looked cool, but then it's like it's come off, and I'm having to try and figure out like it's not sticking on the way it was when it went on originally, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah, the good thing about the Contemptor fist is there's a gun in the middle of it, so I can drill into the barrel of a grav gun.
Yeah.
But then you're hiding the grav gun.
WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get.
Well, actually, in fairness, that actually would be a cool conversion. You know when you seen when you had the Necron range and you have like when you've done like the death beams from the flyers and they actually got the green rod and it's throwing into the ground.
Yeah.
Something similar where you have the melter gun in your hand and you do the rod through a corpse marine. Make it look like he's just getting blasted right through the chest with a melter gun.
I think that'd work, to be honest. Because you're limited to the base size, aren't you? At least with a massive oval cage, you can do weird stuff with it. So I'll leave the Marine out at the end and I'll keep it for terrain because he's already got a dead body on the base anyway, which I just cut up some plastic that I'd used for conversions and just sliced it and just stuck it on the base and built up around it. So it's fine.
You don't want to overdo it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. All right, so we hit ourselves the 50-minute mark, so I'll have to. I think we'll call that there for today. I'm hoping we'll hopefully get more recordings soon next week. We were going to have my mate Luke on, but he was a little bit anxious about contributing to the chat. So hopefully next week he'll have his motivation back up and running. We'll have a 4-way party going on here, and we can get more talks on going.
Make it in the evening next time.
I'll try and see what it's like with the evening.
Bed.
Don't worry, I feel like we're not going to be able to escape that because after all, Zach still had people knocking on the door.
It doesn't matter what I do, I just don't get away.
Go in the shed.
One day we're just going to see you walk out and you're just going to be screaming, going, "I'm doing some fucking recording!"
I'm tempted next time just to get a load of this blood. Like, I've still got this. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's my 40k blood paint, and just paint all of my hands and just go, I had an accident.
God.
And we'll leave that to the user's imagination. So, thanks everyone. So, everyone, viewers, thanks for watching. Follow us once more on our Facebook page. Subscribe, like, all the usual bollocks that everyone on YouTube says in their video.
Follow, and obey.
Do as we say. You don't have a choice. We don't care if we're in lockdown. We will hunt you down.
Like, follow, obey. Send us your firstborn child here to support our
No,
channels.
we don't want more kids.
Whoa. I'm not sending you my firstborn.
See, there's somebody in the background that just said more kids. I just heard the word more kids, and it's like, no. You
have to do a home snipperoonie and then just see it.
I've already had that. It's fine. Like 3 years ago.
Not before we go too far with these nuts.
Yeah, so we're going to turn it off there, guys. Again, like, subscribe, and obey. I hope you see you all again next week for the next episode. I see you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.